Buzz Lightyear and Woody the Sheriff were our childhood best friends. We grew up watching them, and soon they became almost like family. But Toy Story left an unsolved question for us as kids. What was the movie that Andy watched after which he became obsessed with the Buzz toy? Well, the new Disney movie answered this question for us, and it's no surprise that it skyrocketed to the top of the charts this year. So let's talk about the hugely successful spin-off. Firstly, Lightyear's performance on the charts. Since the electrifying trailer for Lightyear came out sporting David Bowie's iconic song Starman in the background, we were already hooked on the idea of seeing Buzz again. So it wasn't really a shock when the movie was the most streamed on Disney Plus for the entire month. The Pixar movie strayed from its Toy Story roots and was described as the science fiction blockbuster that Andy saw in 1995, the origins of the character. It wasn't the biggest hit for the animation studio, but it followed the trend of being extraordinarily fun entertainment for over 1.7 million people streaming it the weekend it was released. Even with the huge weekend, it didn't actually outperform Pixar's last release, which was Encanto, which had almost double the streams. Nielsen distributed the stream counts of all the titles from the 1st of August to the 7th, a whole week. And during that time, Lightyear was seen for 1.3 billion minutes, which made it more watched than any other title on any streaming platform, including Netflix. Uncharted came close, but Pixar had too much of a lead on it. What actually shocked us was that the animated film was actually streamed for longer and beat most TV shows as well, but Virgin River and Stranger Things were the only ones who defeated the tyranny of Lightyear at the box office. But considering movies only, it has been number one since the month it was released. Next up, a spoiler-free synopsis. Don't worry, we aren't going to spoil it. The Space Ranger returns. Buzz Lightyear is played by Chris Evans, and he goes on an intergalactic journey through space and time, and along the way, he finds some enthusiastic recruits. Izzy, played by Keke Palmer, Mo, played by Taika Waititi, and Zurg, played by James Brolin, are just some of the names you'll be seeing in this movie, but the most lovable character is played by Peter Sohn as Socks, who is Buzz's trusty robot cat. As this diverse group handles their hardest mission yet, they figure out how to cooperate collectively to get away from the malicious Zurg and his evil robot armed force on their tails. Emperor Zurg has a shocking plot twist around the end, which we won't reveal, but it left our mouths hanging open. The movie is out on Disney Plus, so go and watch it. Moving on to, why did the Space Ranger sound different? If you were thinking, why does Buzz sound so different? Then you weren't the only one. Originally voiced by the legendary actor Tim Allen, the decision to recast him with Chris Evans, also known as Captain America, was actually controversial even before the movie began production. Director Angus MacLane tried explaining that Tim Allen's voice wouldn't have suited the tone of the movie, as Tim was kind of amusing and aloof, whereas the Space Ranger in the recent movie was more serious and focused on his job. Allen appeared in an interview and answered all these burning questions of ours, and said that Lightyear isn't actually related to Toy Story, and that the team behind the spin-off was completely different. But we all felt that Buddy wasn't himself without his partner in crime, Woody. Allen said something similar, and agreed that Lightyear for that reason didn't have anything to do with the toy. But the main man, Chris Evans, did a wonderful job as the voice actor, and was generally welcomed as one of the best decisions made by the studio. He brought his full enthusiasm, and by the time the movie ended, he had made us forget what Tim Allen sounded like. Finally, how did it fare against critics? Although you'd expect that the prequel/spin-off would have baited the audience with extreme doses of nostalgia to love it, it seemed that it was its greatest downfall. People expected so much from the movie as it was riding the coattails of Toy Story that those expectations could never have been met. The movie debuted on Disney Plus with pretty acceptable reviews, which kind of feels like Pixar has been stuck in this cycle for a while now. Once, they used to produce films that were the pinnacle of their times, and now they just seem to be meeting yearly quotas, with most of their movies being just good. That was the problem most fans had with Lightyear, that apart from establishing nothing groundbreaking, it also didn't have much reference to the lovable universe that had Forky the Fork and Woody in it. The film doesn't look like a beautiful 90s blockbuster, or even a space drama, as it's supposed to have been keeping with the time it was made canonically. It does doesn't coordinate with the variant of Buzz we know at all, aside from his suit. The film is based on an extraordinary idea, yet it's obvious that it's not connected to Buzz Lightyear or the Galactic Alliance. Hardcore fanboys and veterans of the Toy Story universe generally didn't like the movie, since it felt so disengaged from everything. Critics also objected to the movie's plot and pacing, which all generally felt too slow at times. But this doesn't mean that it's a terrible film. It's just Pixar's attempt at a sci-fi tale following a hero similar to Tom Cruise, who makes a lot of mistakes and learns about family and teamwork. It was actually refreshing to watch a kid's movie where the main character was making so many mistakes that we would have made as well. So if that seems like something that would interest you, then this movie is fantastic. In other related news, one of the reasons the movie didn't earn as much as expected was unfortunately because of a short 2-minute scene showing a same-sex relationship. Alicia Hawthorne, who is a friend to Buzz, appears and introduces him to her family, and in the background her wife is visible. This sparked controversy around the globe. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates have banned the release of the film entirely. China did, however, allow the movie to be played but removed that scene, and Singapore did the same, but kept the scene along with 16+ age rating that is not typical around a Disney movie. One country actually went the furthest and gave the movie an 18+ rating in cinemas. Malaysia made the movie entirely for adults and potentially harmed the movie's sales dramatically. This censor around LGBTQ+ characters sadly ends up causing lifelong damages to the community. Moving on to Pixar animator Ralph Eggleston passes away. The animator died aged 56 after a lifetime of battling pancreatic cancer. He was one of the few people to whom we actually owe our childhoods to. He won an Oscar for animating the short film For the Birds in 2001 by Pixar Studios. And besides that, he was in almost every single Pixar movie directing the animation and art. Some of his work can be seen in the original Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, WALL-E, Cars 1, The Incredibles, and most recently, Inside Out. So when we reminisce and talk about the good old days, Ralph Eggleston was the one who made that possible. Pixar made a heartfelt public tweet to him saying, "Pixar and the world will be forever grateful." Eggleston grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in 1965. He won his most memorable Annie Award for Best Individual Accomplishment because of his work on the Pixar title Toy Story. He would later win 3 more Annie Awards for Finding Nemo in 2004, Inside Out in 2015, and the Winsor McKay Award for Lifetime Accomplishment in 2016. Eggleston was likewise respected with the View Visionary Award in 2019. Truly an undisputed titan in his field. Finishing off with Chris Evans rumored to be returning for Captain America again. Chris Evans last showed up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Avengers Endgame, in which he gave off his job to Sam Wilson as well as his shield. After that, his lack of appearance has been a closely guarded Marvel secret, and we have all been dying to know what happened to him next. But we can all rest now, as we're pretty sure, according to our sources, that he's going to be arriving on the big screen pretty soon. As Kevin Feige announced the next Ultimate crossover event, Secret Wars, we had an inkling that this would eventually be discussed. In the Marvel comics, almost every single superhero and supervillain is assembled for a battle of the ages, and with the presence of the multiverse, it would be almost stupid not to bring Chris Evans back. If not the same Steve Rogers we knew, maybe as a variant of himself. That's a wrap for this video, and thank you for watching. What do you think of Lightyear, and how would you rate it? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.